I want to tell a bit of a personal story as to how I got my life turned around. It all happened about 23 months ago. So, there I am, a 27-year-old banker for FNBO, working 40 plus hours per week while going to school full-time, trying to finally get my degree. I wasn't very social at this time, which was not like me in the past. See, I became so entrenched into my job and getting my degree that I became rather reclusive. Not like I really had a choice though. Trying to fit in both of these obligations into the week was time-consuming and exhausting. In January 2020, I began to fall into one of the worst periods of my life. I began to drink heavily. Like, a lot. So much so that it affected my personal relationships and even my job. I was eventually fired from FNBO because, well, yeah. I eventually withdrew from all of my classes at UNO. During this time, my dad had also been struggling with ongoing heart complications after suffering a stroke in 2017. Needless to say, my feelings were all over the place. After numerous requests by my family, I checked myself into rehab in O'Neill, Nebraska. I arrived at Valley Hope Rehabilitation Center in mid-March. I'm not going to tell you everything I experienced while there, but I will tell you that I met some very interesting characters. Local politicians, lawyers, career criminals, kids barely out of high school, and everyone in between. That was one of the most shocking parts. Everyone seemed pretty normal, even the psychos. I learned a great deal while I was there and had some fun times as well. After 4 weeks in O'Neill, I moved to Denver, Colorado to live with my best friend and his roommate. COVID quarantines were in full effect, and I couldn't find a job to save my life. I was a little depressed about what I had lost before ultimately getting myself into this scenario. Losing a great job, letting school fall by the wayside, and not having a serious life plan. On December 19th, 2020, my father passed away at the age of 65. He lived just long enough to be an old man. I flew back to Omaha for his funeral and ended up staying for Christmas because that day also happens to be my mom's birthday. I don't exactly know how to describe it, but many things became clear from that point on. Knowing my dad didn't have to go through that pain anymore brought me a lot of closure. Things I was angry about or any spite I felt toward others left me. I knew it was time to get back to life. Well, it wasn't easy, but I packed up everything I owned and drove myself back to Omaha. I must have stopped 5 or 6 times because the anticipation turned to anxiety periodically. It was now June 2021, and I was coming home to finish what I had started, get my degree, and move on to that next echelon of adulthood. I found a new job bartending over at Blatt Beer and Table. I reconnected with an old friend who is now my lovely girlfriend. And I got re-enrolled to finish my degree at UNO. The super duper senior has returned. Oh, and I even do a cool college radio show with this kid named Joey. I know a lot of this is the condensed, made-for-TV version of this story. If anything, I just want to tell everyone out there, the moment you think you have life figured out is when you're prone to make your next big mistake. Just be good to people. I've learned at least this much.